Have you ever wondered about the quiet places, the corners of Europe that seem untouched by the rush of modern life? We picture Europe as crowded cities and busy streets, but there are countries here where silence reigns and nature dominates. These aren't forgotten lands, they're nations with rich histories and breathtaking beauty, yet few people call them home. Our journey uncovers the real stories behind these empty spaces, an exploration into Europe's least populated countries. We'll travel to lands shaped by volcanoes and glaciers, walk through ancient forests and trace coastlines where mountains meet the sea. This isn't just about population statistics, it's about understanding the soul of a place. Why do so few people live in these incredible landscapes? Is it the climate, the terrain, or the weight of history? We'll visit Iceland, a land of fire and ice, and Montenegro, a tiny country with mighty black mountains. These places challenge our idea of what a European country should be. They invite us to look beyond the familiar and discover something raw and real. As we travel, we'll meet the people who stay, hear their stories, and feel the quiet sadness of places left behind. Empty farmhouses and silent villages tell stories of loss and migration, but also of resilience and hope. This is not a tale of despair, but of the enduring power of community, no matter how small. So let's step off the beaten path and into the quiet heart of Europe. Let's find out why almost nobody lives here. Our first stop is Iceland, a place that feels like another planet. This island nation, perched on the edge of the Arctic Circle, is a land of incredible drama. Volcanoes grumble beneath glaciers, geysers erupt, and waterfalls carve through black volcanic rock. The landscape is always changing, a constant reminder of nature's raw power. You can drive for hours and see nothing but moss-covered lava fields, or stand on black sand beaches, watching Atlantic waves crash. The air is so clean it feels new, but this emptiness is a clue. With less than 400,000 people in a country larger than Hungary, Iceland is one of the world's most sparsely populated nations. The climate is a major factor. Long, dark winters and fierce winds make life here tough. Only a tiny fraction of the land is suitable for farming, the rest is wild and untamed. Living here requires resilience and a deep respect for nature. It's not a life for everyone, but for those who stay. The connection to the wild is everything. There's a profound sense of freedom in all this space. Icelanders have learned to harness geothermal energy, heating homes and greenhouses. They've found ways to thrive in a place many would consider uninhabitable. In a world of growing cities, what does it mean to live on the edge in the beautiful, powerful emptiness of Iceland? Let's find out. To understand Iceland, look back at its history. Norse explorers crossing treacherous seas over 1,000 years ago. They arrived in a pristine wilderness, bringing their language, culture, and sagas, epic tales of survival. These stories are the nation's soul, speaking of hardship, volcanic eruptions, and the constant battle against nature. The population has always been small, clinging to life on this remote island. For centuries, Iceland was among Europe's poorest countries. Turf houses, subsistence farming, and dangerous fishing. Isolation forged a unique culture and fierce independence. This history of struggle is etched into the landscape and the people, creating a tight-knit, resilient community. Survival depended on relying on one another, forging bonds outsiders rarely grasp. Every beautiful vista holds a story of endurance. Yet Icelanders have built a modern, prosperous and creative society. Their language remains close to Viking times, and their love of literature is legendary. They've preserved their identity while embracing the modern world. Iceland's small population is not a sign of failure, but a testament to endurance. Here, emptiness is a source of pride. From the icy north we head south to Montenegro, where the Mediterranean meets the mountains. Craggy limestone peaks rise from the Adriatic, their dark forests giving the land its name, Black Mountain. The Bay of Kotor, a submerged river canyon, is lined with ancient stone towns. In just hours you can go from sun-drenched beaches to deep canyons and primeval forests. Montenegro is wild, untamed and full of secrets, a paradise for adventurers. With just over 600,000 people, it's another of Europe's quiet corners. The coastline buzzes with tourists, but the mountainous interior remains sparsely populated. Driving through the highlands, you feel isolation and timelessness. Tiny villages seem frozen in time, the silence deep and the views endless. The rugged terrain has always made large-scale settlement difficult. This contrast between bustling coast and empty interior is at the heart of Montenegro's story. Montenegro's small population is shaped by its turbulent history. At the crossroads of empires, its people fought fiercely for independence from mountain strongholds. Wars took a heavy toll, generations lost, population growth stunted. The 20th century brought more hardship, world wars, then decades under Yugoslavia. Industrialization drew people from mountain villages to towns and the coast. The old ways faded as modern comforts beckoned. The breakup of Yugoslavia triggered another wave of emigration, especially from the rural north. Each person who leaves takes a piece of the country's future. The mountains that once protected now represent isolation and limited opportunity. The slow drain of people is Montenegro's emotional heart, a story of dreams bigger than villages. The very landscape that forged their identity now drives many to leave. Yet the spirit of independence endures. There's a unique sadness in abandoned villages, a silence heavier than quiet. In both Iceland and Montenegro, you find these places, stone houses with caved roofs, doorways open to the wind. These aren't just ruins, they're monuments to lives lived and dreams left behind. In Iceland, remote farmsteads are slowly reclaimed by moss and wind. In Montenegro, mountain villages, once busy with shepherds, are now largely silent. When a village empties, it's not just people that are lost, but culture, stories, and a way of life. The social fabric unravels, leaving a wound in the national psyche. Older generations grieve for what's lost. Younger ones see these places as symbols of hardship escaped. The loss is more than physical, it's a loss of connection, knowledge, and tradition. Yet these empty places also hold a strange beauty. They remind us of resilience, courage, and the cost of change. The silence is not just absence, it's a story waiting to be heard and perhaps a space for something new to grow. But this isn't just a story of loss. New seeds of hope are being planted. The isolation and wildness that once drove people away now attract a new kind of settler. In a crowded world, the value of space and authenticity is rising. Iceland's tourism boom has brought new life to remote areas, creating jobs and reasons for young people to stay. There's a movement towards sustainability and community, drawing people to Iceland's clean energy and strong social ties. In Montenegro, ecotourism and restoration of old villages are taking root. Traditional agriculture is being revived and infrastructure is improving. This isn't about recreating the past, but finding a new way forward, honoring history while embracing the future. A small population can be an opportunity to build a more balanced, connected society. The whispers in empty villages could be the first stirrings of a new future. What does the future hold for these beautiful empty countries? Globalization and urbanization are powerful forces, and climate change adds new threats. A few tourism projects can't reverse decades of depopulation, but there is hope. Success depends on innovation, sustainability, and celebrating uniqueness. Iceland could lead in renewable energy and research. Montenegro could model sustainable development and ecotourism. The most crucial element is the people, those who stay, return, or are newly drawn to these lands. Building resilient communities and fostering pride in both past and future is key. Supporting local entrepreneurs and investing in rural education will help. The survival of these quiet corners matters for the diversity and soul of our continent. Sometimes the greatest richness is found in the empty spaces. We've traveled from volcanic fields to black mountains, seen breathtaking landscapes, and heard quiet stories of resilience. These countries aren't empty. They're full of history, character, and spirit. They challenge us and remind us of the deep connection between people and place. This journey is about more than visiting beautiful locations. It's about understanding the world on a deeper level. The world is full of hidden corners, each with its own tale of struggle and hope. By exploring these edges, we learn more about ourselves. I invite you to continue this exploration with us. Join our community of curious travelers. Subscribe and become part of our adventure. Every subscription helps us bring you more stories from the forgotten corners of our planet. Let's keep exploring, keep asking questions, and continue this journey together. There's so much more to see, and I'd be honored to have you with us. The next journey is just around the corner. See you there.